Good morning or afternoon or wherever you may be. Thank you for being here, making me and the lab part of your day. Good to be here. How is everybody? 10:36, January 10th, 10:36 a.m. It's good to be here. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. What a night last night. You know, it was a lot to take in, a lot of information to unpack. And we spoke at length. And once again, I'd like to thank Chris McDonough of the interview room for being here last night. That was totally awesome of him. And, it's funny, we had a conversation just recently about other, theories and things like that. And one of the theories that we did talk about was, and he propped it up to me, said, well, what if Summer had been, hit by a car, and then that's where the scream came from, with JS and the family. And that, we've also heard rumblings and rumors that maybe Andy's mother had owned a red truck. All speculation. Nobody knows. Just stuff, bouncing ideas off of each other. I just thought that was an interesting theory. But once again, I do want to thank Chris for being a part of the show. And thank you all for being here. It is good to see you. And I titled this episode, I titled it I can burn bridges because I can swim. And there was a few things that I wanted to talk about here. First and foremost of being, the thought of unconditional, love. What is unconditional love? Is there such a thing as unconditional love? And when is walking away, when is it a good thing? And as harsh as, people want to be just about life in general and turning your back on others and doing what's best for you and not what's best for others is something that we all have to learn. And I think that we've all gotten ourselves in trouble putting other people first when we don't put ourselves in the right position. That happens far too often. It happens with me far too often, and it happens just in general. And I'll do some of these questions towards the end that you guys are bringing in here. And so when you quote unquote burn a bridge, when you say that you're burning a bridge, it's a very bold statement. It's a very boisterous statement. And if you're going to burn bridges, for whatever reason you want to burn those bridges for, you got to be able to swim, obviously, meaning you have to be able to pick yourself up from that for whatever reason that you burnt that bridge for. Now, I'm not saying that you should go around just burning bridges. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in order for you to keep power of your life, in order for you to keep control over your life, walking away from something that's not healthy for you or healthy for another person in that relationship is imperative. It's key. You can only allow so many certain people, you can only allow people to have so much power over you until you want to take that power back. And the one way to take your power back in your life, to gain control over your life, to give yourself the best chance is when you are put in situations or you're in a situation that you may not like, and you have every right in the world to take control of the situation back. And however you need to do that. And sometimes it is difficult and sometimes it is very hard to do. And you want to be careful. But at the same time, we talk about what is most important. Who is most important? Me, my family. That's most important. It should be you and your family first, everything else second. And burning a bridge doesn't necessarily mean burning relationships. It just means that bridge that you have traveled across to meet that other person on the other side, and they can have a conduit to you towards the other side. Well, maybe you just got to figure out another way to get to each other because that bridge is done. So what needs to happen is you burn that bridge, but you can make a new bridge. You can make a new bridge. You can build a new bridge. But the fact of the matter is, when one bridge is burnt, you have to make a new one if that's what you want to do. But you also have to be able to walk away. You have to be able to walk away from that bridge as well. You don't have to go and make a new one, but you definitely do have to burn down the bridges that do not suit what comes into your life. And people want to talk about unconditional love. I'll tell you what unconditional love is. Unconditional love is an excuse for someone that you love to treat you like you don't matter because you're going to love them no matter what. My love comes with conditions. I'll just tell you that right now. As is, I hope yours does too. I hope that your love also comes with conditions. You understand? The only reason that the term unconditional love exists is so people can treat you like trash and they can make excuses for it. I will not follow someone to the depths of hell because of blind loyalty. How many of you have ever seen the show Intervention? When Intervention, the interventionist says basically, you have to draw a line in the sand. Either this person gets help or they're out of your life. There's two options. There's two options that they have. And what are those two options? Get better or get out of my life. That doesn't mean that you love them, but you will not love somebody to death. You don't have to love somebody to death. Nobody wants to watch somebody kill themselves. Nobody wants to watch that. Nobody needs that kind of love. That's not good love. It's enabling. You have to be able to walk away from certain situations. You have to be able to walk away from certain people. Once again, unconditional love is nothing more than an excuse for someone to treat you like trash because they know that you're so loyal that you will never stick up for yourself. Oh, but I love you so much. My love is unconditional for you. Well, then you're in for a world of hurt. You are in a world of trouble if that's the way that you view life. If you are so blind to the facts of life that you follow people into terrible situations, your life's not going to go that way. It's not going to go well for you. Unconditional love is an excuse. And it is okay to burn bridges with the intent of building a new one that supports both or more of you. Whether it be a suspension bridge or a walking bridge or whatever. I don't know how many kind of bridges there are, but not all bridges are built the same. Some are built for different terrain. It's a metaphor. Work with me. But I get so sick and tired of hearing this whole narrative that love is unconditional. Love is this. Love is that. Love is what you intend it to be. And it has to work for both people. It has to work for everybody. Because if it doesn't, then is that really love? Is that just one-way love? Because there's a lot of that. There's a lot of one-way love. Do as I say, not as I do type of advice. Everybody's an armchair quarterback. And that's just the long and short of it when it comes to love, and everybody says, oh, love is blind. I don't think so. I think love squints. It goes like this. It might be 80% blind, but it's not all the way blind. It squints. It is definitely not an unconditional type of thing that people want to make it out to be. How many people are in prison because they go, man, what are you in here for? I'm nothing. You're in here for nothing. Well, I didn't snitch. I didn't tell on my boy. I didn't tell on my boy. I ain't like that. I didn't tell on my boy. So it's like, you're in here for someone else because of what? Because I ain't no snitch. You're in here for another person. That not only is that unconditional blindness, but it's just foolish. It's just foolish. See in the chat here, it says that Robert Durst just died. Bummer. It couldn't have been a nicer person that happened to. He lived too many years free, if you ask me. I knew this was coming, and I have a lot of thoughts on it, and maybe I'll cover it later at another time. But I've been after Robert for a long time. Wow, unbelievable. It goes from unconditional to brainwashed at some point. It not only is it brainwashing, it's manipulative. There is this false sense of loyalty with people, and I'm telling you, it's one-way loyalty. There, you know, when you turn your back on somebody, you're automatically a disloyal human. Never mind the reasons that you may have done it. That doesn't matter. In the world of blind loyalty, you turn your back on people. Not cool. Not cool. And I do, once again, always say when people are talking about unconditional love, that I don't think that there's such a thing. I think that's abusive love. Because the person that would actually love you wouldn't make you put up with that kind of stuff. They would look at it from everybody's. If I did something to somebody and people would look and say, was that deserved or not? Look, that's up to me and that's up to you in each individual situation. What the problem with that is that love reciprocates. When you put it out there into the ether, you expect to get love in return, respect in return. And when you don't get love and respect in return from somebody that you love unconditionally, well, then you're just supposed to put up with it. Why would I just put up with that? Why would I just put up with that? Why would you just put up with that? And when people talk, you know, I want to let my love light shine just like you, but at the same time, it does come with conditions. And I know that that's not like a popular thing to say, but you got to understand. You got to really understand. I think you're oversimplifying it. It's appropriate for children. It's acceptable when someone is just having an idiot moment. Otherwise, they're a decent person. I think that, you know, I don't know if I'm oversimplifying it or undersimplifying it, but what I'm trying to explain is that if the person truly loves you, then there is no need for that unconditional love. There's no need for it because they wouldn't put you in those kinds of choosing situations. Indeed, I absolutely do. When you love somebody, you want to make sure that you treat them with the utmost respect and try to understand from the other person's point of view. The problem with that is love doesn't always reciprocate. People don't always show the same love. The same love back and forth. A lot of times, you know, people will ask me about my dad. They say, well, do you forgive him? And sometimes I go, I don't know. Does it matter if I do? I'm not really sure. Sometimes I feel like I do. Sometimes I feel like I don't. But here's the thing. There are things in life that happen that people do to you that are unforgivable. That's just the fact of the matter. You don't have to forgive. Why do you have to forgive? Why do people tell you that you have to forgive? People do things in life that are unforgivable. Killing your mother is one of those things. Do I forgive? I don't know. Do I want to? Sure. Is it possible? Maybe. But do I? I don't know. It depends the day you catch me on. I'll just be honest with you. It just depends on the day. Because, once again, my life is my life, and my feelings are my feelings. And if I am able to live with the way that I feel about a certain person, i.e., say my father, then as long as it's not affecting my life and other situations, as long as I'm not harboring this hatred, as long as I'm not harboring this animosity towards other people in my life and taking my anger out on other people in my life for the things that my father has done to me, that's as good as forgiveness. To me, that's as good as forgiveness. But it's also not, it's not mandatory for me to forgive. It's not mandatory for you to forgive. There are things that people do in this world that are unforgivable. They just are. And if you've ever had something happen to you, such as a life crime or, just betrayal on the ultimate level, maybe you wouldn't be so keen to forgive. Maybe you wouldn't be so apt to say, you know what? Things happen. Respect and love are a two-way street. In my mind, if I think about it the way that I think about it, what my own father did to my family is unforgivable. He tore us apart piece by piece, shred by shred, day by day, year by year. And, one of the first questions I always get asked, do you forgive him? I don't know. Would you? Would you? My family was as destructive as the Wells, just not so dirty. I refuse to repeat that. We don't forgive them, we forgive us. As long as I can look myself in the eye and know that I'm doing the best that I can for my children, for my family, while I am sifting through the emotions of things that have happened to me, whether it be a bad relationship, whether it be a hatred with a sibling or whatever. And not today. Thank you so much also for that. Super Sick is very kind. Thank you. Look, yeah, I'll give you I'll give you a little backstory here. As a young child, my father and mother had a contentious relationship, jealousy, drugs, alcohol, mostly on my father's part, paranoia, breaking up, making up. His behavior became more erratic in the days leading up to the life crime. And what ended up happening was he murdered my mother and has been in prison for over 30 something years. And me and my sister were the two kids. We went off to live with my grandparents, and that's just how it's been. And then growing up dealing with all those things, we dealt with them the best way that we could. And that was even talking about forgiveness. Do you forgive? You have to forgive, Josh. You got to forgive, Josh. And I'd always say, why? Why is it so important for me to forgive? Why can't I just feel the way that I feel about it? Why can't I just be me? Just let me be me. Let me feel about it how I want to feel. Forgiveness is, that's between him and God. That's just between him and God. That is not between, what do I got to forgive him for? To make him feel better or to make me feel better? Because I'm not really that concerned with somebody's feelings that didn't have much consideration for me. And by the way, this can be on such smaller levels. It doesn't have to be like this. I'm not a vengeful person. I'm not a spiteful person. What does it matter to me what does it matter if I forgive him? I think he just better hope that God forgives him, not me. That doesn't have anything to do with me. And if I'm not carrying around that hatred, and I'm telling you right now, I don't have hatred for him. And if you want to call that forgiveness, then call it forgiveness. Call it what you want. But he should have never put me in that position to have to forgive him. That's his problem, not mine. That's their problem, not yours. Do you see? Just because you have a falling out with somebody doesn't make it unrepairable. But is it worth the repair? I don't know. In that certain situation, I felt, as somebody who's now 36 years old and dabbled in the idea of maybe forming a relationship with my father, I decided that it was for the best that I never would, because that bothered me more interacting than trying to, quote unquote, forgive. Forgiveness is between him and God, in my opinion. And once again, it doesn't have to be a life crime. It could be anything. Somebody puts you in a bad situation. Somebody doesn't respect how you feel about something, and they're just like, whatever. Well, those are the kind of people I don't need, and I'm guessing that you don't really need those people either. Those are the kind of people that I try to stay away from. And it's not that I don't love these people. In my heart, there's always going to be a certain amount of love for my dad. That shit, I can't help that. I was programmed that way. That's how it works. He's my father. But that doesn't really give me a reason to go, you know what? All's forgiven. Let's hang out. No, that's not how it works. Not in my world, maybe in yours. Maybe in yours it works that way. But in mine, that's not how I work. You might be the most loyal person in the world, and you'll follow somebody to the gates of hell. Good for you. I'm hopping off at the next exit. Oh, they're my friend. I'm going to go down with the ship. Somebody grab me a lifeboat. This plane's on fire and we're going to crash. Parachute, please. because I've been there. And I'm not going down with other people's ships. It's not mine. I'm not the one sinking it. I just know that I don't want to be on a sinking ship. And I, when that ship sinks, I hope that it's salvaged and repaired. And then maybe we can go for a ride again, depending on if it's good for both of us. But if it's not, then it's not. I am shocked at the amount of loyal this and loyal that. I'm an old soul. I'm an old soul. No, you're a new fool. That's what you are. You want to be so loyal that everything around you comes crashing down for people that don't respect the things that you do, or people have done you so wrong in your life to take people out of your life, but you should forgive. It'll make you feel better. Well, does it make you feel better just saying that? Because if it does, then just be quiet. You know what I mean? Just be quiet. Everybody wants to have an opinion. Everybody thinks that everybody functions the same way. Everybody thinks the same way. That's not how it goes. I don't think like you and you don't think like me. Not saying I'm right, not saying you're wrong. But I like the way that I deal with things. It's far from perfect, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And I think that the more that, we delve into these kind of things, we look at regaining our own power and regaining our own strength and structure, not according to what others think we should do, but according to what we feel that we should do. Joni says, so you don't want to feel better. What am I feeling better about? I feel fine. I feel fine. There is nothing. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you feel by that, but you got to understand that we don't all handle situations the same way. And I'm so glad that there are tons of loyal people in this world. We don't have to think alike. If you would do something a certain way and I would do something a certain way, that's just called being individuals. But I tell you, the same way that you would look at me for quote unquote not wanting to forgive or quote unquote not wanting to be loyal, come on now. I think of it the same way. I go, why would you do that to yourself? Oh, why would you do that to yourself? My ex-husband caused the death of my daughter. I thought many ways of getting even. Now he's in prison for double homicide. I forgave but never forgot. Vengeance is God's, not mine. And AB, thank you for sharing that. As I'm sorry to hear that. What a tragic thing that has happened. And if the forgiveness worked for you, whatever that was, forgiveness is just a word. It doesn't really mean anything other than maybe you have made peace, that you don't have hatred in your heart. If that's forgiving, sure, then I guess that's what I've forgiven. There's no hate. There used to be a lot, and I worked through a lot of that. But Navy vet, I am so sorry to hear that. That's just tough. Yeah, you know, you'll never forget. You'll never forget. And you don't want to. Ed, why don't you read the room, bud? So is it okay to burn a bridge? Yes, because to me, burning a bridge isn't a forever thing. Bridges can be rebuilt, new bridges in different locations, different structure and material. You know, you would all read the title and go, burning a bridge, that's a forever thing. Not in my world, it's not. Not in my world, it's not. But burning a bridge is fine. If that bridge isn't supporting both of you, if that bridge isn't supporting your relationship both ways, if it's not a two-way bridge, then it needs to be torn down. Then it needs to be torn down. And please, by all means, set it on fire if you want. Right. You burn them and never look back. And that's okay. You don't have to. But once again, the way that the ways that there's different ways to burn bridges. Let's build a zip line. Yeah, I mean, bridges you burn light the way. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Ed, I'm gonna ask you. It's not what we're really talking about right now, Ed. I'm gonna just ask politely. Can you not try to get people riled up by saying something that you don't know that to be a fact or not? Ed, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just in here to get people riled up. Don't do it. Go somewhere else if that's your goal. Please. Thank you. It really is it's funny. Moving forward is burning a bridge as well. Advancement in life. Absolutely. You don't have to forgive or justify yourself to anyone. I forgive a lot of people for a lot of bad things, but I can't forgive my mom for essay on me. Some days I'm great and some days I'm not. That's exactly how I feel. It's exactly how I feel. Some days are better than others. Some days I'm more apt to say, and some days I'm more like, well, you know what, frig off. But you know, I'll never accept the theory that we have to forgive. So in order for me to forgive, do I have to say to that person, I forgive you to their face? Or is it just something in my heart that I deal with? Because I feel that it's just something in my heart that I deal with. That's how I feel about it. In my heart, I feel as though I'm not angry. I don't want revenge. I just don't want to be involved with you anymore. Meaning, as like that would pertain to like my father or somebody who's done me so wrong that I can never turn back. It's in me. It's my decision. I don't have to sit in front of somebody, and just like you don't have to sit in front of somebody and say, I forgive you. And I'm telling you guys right now, you do not have to justify why you can or can't forgive somebody. That's between you and how well you can sleep at night. If it is absolutely imperative that you can't take another step in life without forgiving somebody, then that's what you have to do. But if you can maneuver in this world with putting those things to the side and saying, you know what, I forgive them, but I don't need to be audible about it. They don't need to know how I feel. They don't need to know how I feel. That's not I owe them nothing. They owe me nothing. And I think that it is such a fine line between forgiveness. Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on just one second. One second. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on just one second. One second. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on just one second. One second. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on just one second. One second. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on just one second. One second. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on just one second. One second. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on just 1 second. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on just 1 second. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on just 1 second. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on just 1 second. Hello? Can you guys hear me now? Sorry about that. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. I'll explain that in a second. Okay, you can hear me. Sorry. I just got alerted. I'm sorry. I just got alerted that my grandmother had hit her life alert, and I could hear the ambulance coming down the street. It was a false alarm. I forgive her. Wow. Yeah, she's fine. She didn't do it. I mean, it was an accident. Sorry. Kind of took the wind right out of my sails there. She did. She swatted me. Yeah, she's fine. It's just oh, the joys, right? Yeah. Yeah, she's fine. I was just like, what is going on? Well, yeah, she did. I'm sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it did. It did. It did. You start getting an alert. I got an alert on my computer, my phone, and I'm going, oh God, what happened? It's scary because my son has epilepsy, and I get really like wound up when something like that happens. So forgive me for taking off in such a way, but everything's okay. She's okay. She forgives me. I forgive her. It's not yeah, jeez. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've had to call the ambulance on when my grandpa was sick. He had dementia and Alzheimer's, and he started falling a lot, and then so we were constantly calling the cops. And then after he passed away, then my son was diagnosed with seizures, and then we started calling the ambulance a lot then. And now my grandma, who's about 80 years old, and she uses kind of a little walker. She's the one that raised me, her and my grandpa. So, yeah, terrifying. Anyway, yeah. Woo! Yeah, grandma. That's how the flare gun. Help! I need help. Is Ed still here? if Ed's still here, I mean, and he's, yeah, and once again, sorry. I'm gonna take a drink of my. All right, I feel better. But I totally lost my train of thought. And that's okay. But anyway, I guess we can end it now. I believe tomorrow after Chris goes on, we're gonna do another wrap up. And I hope you guys are all there. Fantastic stuff Chris is doing. And we will talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys for being here. I'm sorry again.
Yeah.
Roll call. Thank you again, new members, super chats. Where is it? Wait, let me throw those up. Classy Chatty, thank you so much for the $9.99. Mama She 13. That was my old baseball number. $9.99. What are your thoughts on Candace not getting arrested? I'll answer this on the way out. What are my thoughts on Candace not getting arrested for giving Hunter alcohol and vape? Delinquency of a minor. I'm sure at some point she'll be facing that. Doctors gave me a life alert for seizures. My granddaughter lives in Kentucky. I live alone. How am I supposed to hit that button? Yeah, I don't know. Do you have an Apple Watch? I know that they have that stuff. South Wales. I love that. Whew. That's funny. Is Ed still around? I haven't seen him. Take care, guys.